Hi, welcome to the Pre-Cal lecture series. And this video, we are going to continue working on the Chapter 1 practice test. Our previous video, we worked two problems, and the problem number 1 has like 6 parts. So total we worked 7 problems basically. So today we're going to work on the problem number 3 here. So let me go to the worksheet to kind of refresh your memory and what it looks like. And then we will continue to work here. So this is our chapter 1 practice test. So from the video number 1, we finished problem 1, problem 2. So today we're going to start to talk about the problem number 3. It's a factoring. All right, now this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we still have 5 problems to finish. Okay, so before we start looking for the problem number 5, the number 3 is here. I like to give you a brief review about what the factoring things we need to know. Okay, so before we start here, right, I'm going to list some factoring formulas here for you. Okay. So the first one, like we say, this is the one we used a lot. So it's a squared minus b squared. If you don't remember anything, this is the one you probably want to remember, right? So this is a minus b, and this is a plus b, right? It's very, very super important. How about if you have a cube plus b cube here? So if you have a cube here, then the formulas here will be a plus 1, a plus b, then this is a squared minus ab plus b squared. Then if you have a cube minus b cube, then the formula here will be, this will be the a minus b, and this is a squared plus ab plus b squared here. Okay, so the way I kind of remember this is like, if this is a plus, then here's a plus. If here is the plus, then the back here is negative. So the opposite is the same way. If this is a minus, so here's a minus. And then the opposite here is a plus. That's how do I remember, all right? So then the next set of the formula will be like this. If a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, and this will be the a plus b, the whole thing squared. And then here, this is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared, and this will be the a minus b squared. I'm sure you're all pretty familiar with those formulas because your algebra, high school algebra teacher might probably drill you all the time, right? So how do you get the, how do you factor those things, all right? Okay, so now let's take a look at problem number 3 here, right? I guess we have some space here we can do here. So number 3, the part A here, it says 4x squared minus 25. So you see, this is 4x squared, see some square minus. So you probably will use the first formula. So I need to change that to the a squared minus b squared. So the 4x squared, what I can change it to, I can change it to 2x squared. So what is 25? I can change it to 5 to the what? Square, right? So now after you change that, and then you see this is what? This is a minus b squared, right? So a is 2x, b is 5. Okay, so now apply the formula. It's a minus b, so it's 2x minus 5 times a plus b, so it's 2x what? Plus 5 here, right? So far, so good. All right. So now the next one's here, the factoring here. Okay, so next one's here. This is a 2x squared plus 5x minus 12. Like I mentioned, for this type of the, the factoring, different teacher might have the different way. So what I do here is I say, okay, this is the one. So the 2x squared. So I have to have a 2x here and x here, right? Because 2x times x will give you x squared. Then the remaining will be kind of the guess, like it's like you guess. It's a guessing games, right? So you say, what are the things, right? So here, what are the things, right? You break it, it will become the negative 12, right? Then when you do the multiplication, then you do the adding them up will be 5x. So let's try here, right? So I said it's 12. Well, typical, I would say, okay, it's 4 and 3, all right? So 4 and 3. And then now here is 12. So one place I have to give it is negative. So I don't know. So it's like I say, it's a guessing game. So I put this is a negative, this is a positive, right? Okay, so 3 times 4 is negative 12, match here, right? So this one's here. Okay, so this one, color coding, right? So you times it to match here. And these two, you times it to match here, right? Okay, now let's see, is this matched to what we have here, right? Okay, so now you do the 3 times x is what? Is 3x. The negative 4 times x is what? Negative what? Ax. So when you add them together, what is to give you? Negative 5x. What is a match? No, because this is a positive 5x, right? So I know this guess might not be a good guess here. So I say, okay, now let's do again, right? So let's re-guessing it, right? Okay, so how do I guess this one's here? So now I said in here, a while ago, then I will say, and I put the negative in the 4. Right now, I put a positive in the 4, negative here. So we still match, right? Negative 3 times 4 is positive, negative 12. 2x times x, right? So let's see the middle one. So this one's here is what? It's negative 3x. And this one's here is what? Positive ax. So when you add them here, 5x. It work? Yes, it work. All right, so this will be our final answer. It's 2x minus 3 and x plus 4. All right, so far so good. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, the next one's here. Let's see the number 3, part C here. So here, this is x cubed minus 3x squared and minus 4x plus 12. And the problem, this problem, what it want to test you, it want to test you the concept about the factoring by grouping. For the factor, there's really no definite way to do it. So in here, right, so you see here, you kind of like a detective, you see this is 1 and 3. This is a 4 and 12. If I take a 4 out, so it will be 1 and 3. So it's kind of like the match here, right? So that's why you say, maybe that is what I can do here. I do it by grouping. So like you see here, you say, okay, now I put these two in one group, and I put these two in other group. Let's see, I can produce some common group. Okay, so for the pink ones here, so what I can do here, I can say, hey, this is x squared, right? So I can take x squared out. So if you take x squared out, this will be x minus 3. Correct? All right, so I'm just color coding that. Okay. Now, the next one here is this blue one. You say, okay, if I take the 4 out, okay, so be careful, right? So 4, this is negative 4x. I have a negative 4 here. What is here is x. Here is a 12. If I take a 4 out, it will be 3. And because this is positive, and so, but I factor the negative out. So what I need to have here, x minus 3. Do you see that? Okay, so that's why we talk about the grouping here. And then now, after you do that, then we find out something good because x minus 3 is a common factor. So I can take the x minus 3 out. So what do you have left here is x squared what? Minus 4. Oh, x squared minus 4. So what is x squared minus 4? It's minus 2 to the what? 2 squared, right? So what I have here, I have a squared minus what? B squared. Okay, so what is the final answer for this group factoring? Is x minus 3, x minus a minus b is x minus 2, x plus 2. All right, okay, now D here. This is x4 plus 27x. Okay, the rule number 1 is, right, always factor out the common term. So now I both have x here, so I can factor out the x, take 1x out. So if you take 1x out, what is x4? Will be x3. What happened to here is 27. Oh, this is a cube formula, right? So if I can change 23 to cube, then I can use the formula. So this is x cubed. So what is 27 here? It's 3 to the what? Cube, right? So now what is your a and the b? So this is a cube plus what? B cube. Okay, without looking back, let's see if we remember or not. Remember we say first is always plus, right? So it's a plus b, so it's x plus 3. If you put x plus 3 here, the remaining will be negative, so it will be x squared. So a squared, so it's x squared minus ab, so minus 3x plus b squared plus 9. It's good? Okay, good job, right? So this is what is our answer. And x squared minus 3x plus 9, I cannot factor any further. Okay, so now let's take a look. Part E here. I want to, let's do the part F first. I want to do part E in a separate board because it's very important. Okay, let's do the part F. Part F is pretty easy. So it's x cubed y minus 4xy. Remember the rule number 1, factor out the common factors here. So what a common factor I have? I have both have xy. Factor that out. So for first one, you take the xy out. What do you have left? X squared. So minus, so the second term, you take the xy out. What do you have left? 4. Oh, it's x squared minus something, right? So the x squared, I can say this is x squared minus what? 2 to the square. Then I can use a squared minus b squared formula to do that. So what is here? So this is xy, x minus a minus b, so x minus 2, x plus 2. Okay, all right. So now let's do part E. The reason why I said part E is important is because later, when you next semester, when you go to the calculus, and frequently you will need to combine or simplify the term when your fraction, your exponents are fractions, right? Like in here, plus 6x negative 1/2 here. Okay, so this is a kind of important ones here, right? Okay, so now we say, okay, let's factor the common terms first. So for the numbers here, if you take a look at those numbers, this is 396. This is a no-brainer. I can factor out the 3. Okay, and then you have the x values there, so they always with the fraction. The typical rule is you factor out the lowest one. So this is my lowest one, is x to the negative 1/2. Okay, so in here, okay, so I factor out x to the negative 1/2. Okay, so let's take a look at what is the first term left. So x to the negative 1/2, right? That means you need to times something here. So here, you need to times something here. So that means negative 1/2, because you times, you add exponents, add something will be equal to what? It is going to be equal to what here? 3/2 here, correct? So that means you add something is equal to 3/2. So this something is equal to what? It's 3/2 plus 1/2. So it's 2. So that's why I say this is important, right? So this is how do you do that? So this is 2 here. You get that? Okay, so now the negative 3, okay, you factor 3 out, so this is another 3. So you say x, you want to do something, right? So that means negative 1/2 plus something is equal to what? Equal to 1/2. So what is this something? It's 1/2 plus 1/2 is what? It's 1, right? So that's why here you get 1s here. You get that? Okay, so now in here, so this is x squared 1. Then what is left here? So you factor 3 out, so this is 2. Okay, so now here, remember we did a review. If you have negative exponents, what here? It's like you put it in the denominators, right? Now in here, for this one, this is x squared minus 3x plus 2. Let's see if we can factor. So this is xx, right? Then the 2's here, you can say is 2 times 1. But here's negative, so you put both negative. So negative times negative will give you positive, right? So still do the color coding. X squared, you're taking care by doing this. And then the 2's here, by taking care of, you do this and this, right? So negative 2 times positive 2. Now let's see here. So you times here, this is negative x, and then you times here, this is negative 2x. When you add, what is here? Negative 3x match. So I know I factored correctly. So final answer, this is 3, this is x minus 1, this is x minus 2, and square roots of x. All right. Okay. Okay, so now let's take a look. Next page is here. The next page is the problem number 4. We want to solve the equations here, okay? So when we solve the equations here, and the first one's here, this one is just a simple linear equation. So this is x plus 5 and is equal to 14 minus 1/2 of x. Remember in your algebra, we say when we try to solve this type of problem, what do? We move the variables to one side and all the numbers to another side, right? So I can say, okay, I want to move the x, so I plus 1/2 of x, plus 1/2 of x. So what is x plus 1/2 of x? It's 3/2 of x, correct? Plus 5 equal to 14. Then minus 5 minus 5, so I can get all the number to the other side. So this is 3/2 of x equal to what? Equal to 9, right? So how do you do that? Okay, so then I divide by what? 3/2 divided by 3/2, right? So here you divide by 3/2, boom, boom, you cancel. So you get x equal to, you still remember from the first video, how do you simplify this fraction? So it's 9 times what? You flip, right? You flip the bottom. So 3/2 becomes 2/3. So you cancel here is 3. So what is the answers here? Answer is 6. Good. Okay, now let's take a look at the b's here. So the b is, this is the 2x, this is x plus 1, and is equal to 2x minus 1 and x. So what is this problem try to test us? Cross product, right? So when we try to solve the equation, you need to use cross product. Here's the boom, boom, right? Okay, so cross product. So the 2x times x, so what is here is 2x squared. And this one here, this is x plus 1, 2x minus 1. So what you do? FOIL, right? Okay, so this one is x times 2x squared minus x plus 2x minus 1, right? All right, okay. My right-hand side is 2x squared, okay? Positive 2x minus x is plus x minus 1. All right, okay, so now the left-hand side is 2x squared. So I can minus 2x squared minus 2x squared. So what happened to here? 0. So this is what? X plus 1. No, it's x what? Minus 1. Yeah, right. So it's x minus 1. So what is the answer? X equal to what? X equal to 1. Correct? Okay, that's good. Let's take a look at the C here. Okay, so number C is here. So this is the x squared minus x minus 12 equal to 0. So this is try to test us what? You know, you need to factors, right? So if you factor, that means these 2 times is equal to 0. That means one of them have to be equal to 0, correct? Okay, so now this is the x, right? So this is 4 and 3. So here's negative, so I put a negative here and plus 3 here. Correct? All right, so that means if this number times this number equal to 0, that means this one has to be equal to 0 or this one equal to 0, right? So this one equal to 0 give you what? X equal to the negative 3. If this one give it to 0, give you what? X equal to what? X equal to 4 here. So that will be my answer here. Okay, so let's take a look at part D here, right? Part D. Okay, so this is the 2x squared plus 4x plus 1 equal to 0. This one doesn't seem like have a straight way to kind of factor like this, right? So doesn't look like this one will work. So what do we need to do here? So this problem is try to test your what? Try to test your quadratic formula. So do we still remember what is the quadratic formula here? The quadratic formula is x is equal to what? 2a and minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac here, right? So now let's try to circle our ABC. So this is A, this is B, this is our C, right? Okay, so now we can do the quadratic formula. X is equal to 2a. So x equal to 2a, so it's 2 times 2. Negative b, so it's negative 4, plus or minus square roots of the b square, so it's 4 to the square minus 4ac, 4 times 1 times 2. Correct? Okay, so now this one is 4, this is negative 4. So what is this one here? 4, 16. So the 16 times minus 8 is what? Is 8, right? So I know the 8 is equal to the 2 times 2 to the square. So the square roots of the 8 will just be 2 and the square roots of the 2's, right? Okay, so I can simplify that. So this is negative 4 plus or minus 2 of square roots of the 2. So take the 2 out. So this is negative 2 plus or minus square roots of the 2. So what is my answers here? My answer will be 2, negative 2 plus or minus square roots of the 2. That's my value of x here. Okay, now let's take a look at part E here. Okay, so part E. Oh, this one looks kind of well, so it's we have a few radicals here. So is 3 minus x plus 5 equal to 2. All right. Okay, so now how do we solve this? Okay, let's try to get rid of the first square roots. So what I need to do is square. So it's 3 minus x plus 5 equal to what? It's 4, correct? Okay, now I minus here, minus here. So I have negative x plus 5 is equal to what? Is equal to 1, right? So now I have x plus 5 equal to the negative 1 here. I know that for the square roots that cannot, the principal roots cannot have a negative 1. So what happens here? We say no real solutions. Okay, so be very careful here, right? So for the square root, you know, when you put like, for example, square roots of the 4 into the calculator, they're not going to give you negative 2s, right? Okay, so the principal roots will always be the positives here. Okay, so now let's take a look at other problems here. This is the number f here. Okay, so the number f here, this is how to try to, this is x4 minus 3x squared. So this is another factories, right? Plus 2 equal to 0. Okay, so now we do the same way like we did it before. So in order to match x4s, I need to have x2s, right? Then the 1 times 2 is 2, right? So this is positive, so but this is negative, so I need to have both. So that means x squared minus 1, x squared minus 2. So I can continue to simplify because I see the square minus, I use the a square. So this is okay, so this is x squared minus 1 to the square. This is x squared. So how about the 2? What can I do to be a b squared here? I can say it's the square root of the 2 over 2, right? So both of them is a squared minus b squared. So let's try to factor. What do we have here? So this is a minus b, a plus b, times x minus the square root of the 2, and this is x plus the square root of the 2 is equal to 0. So we know by the multiplication rule, so that means this one equal to 0, 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 right? So it's this one or this one or this one. Okay, so what is my x value? X equal to 1, x equal to what? Negative 1, x equal to what? Square root of 2, and x equal to the negative square root of 2. Right? So I have 4 real number solutions here. So far, so good? Okay, the G. So the number G is to try to test you how to solve the absolute values here. Okay? So the first things we do, you know, just like we solve the linear equation divided by 3, divided by 3. So we have x minus 4 equal to 10 over 3. Okay, so now in order to break the absolute value, so this is what is this problem I try to do. So I'm going to put the formulas here, right? So here is the absolute value of x. How do you break it? So you will break it like x if x is greater than or equal to 0. Because you can try to solve it without the absolute value, right? So you will break this to the negative x if x is less than 0. That's how do we break it. It's always have 2 ways, right? It's greater than 0 or it's less than 0, right? So now let's take a look at how do we break it. So it will be itself. So it's x minus 4 equal to what? 10 over 3. So x equal to 10 over 3 plus 4. So it will be 22 over 3. That's one of my solution. And Or you put a negative, right? So it's x minus 4 is equal to the negative 10 over 3. So this is super important, right? So that's how did you break the absolute value. Learn that in the algebra 2. And now we'll try to do it one more time. So this is x is negative 10 over 3 plus 4. So what is this answers here? So these ones will be, so 3, this is negative 10 plus 12. So what is here? 2/3. So X is going to have 2 solutions here. All right. And that's it. All right. That's it for this video. So we did another 2 problems, but in fact, problem number 3 have 6, problem number 4 have 7. So we really did 13 problems, right? Okay, so that's it. So let's stop here before the video get too long, and then we will continue in the video number 3 to finish the, this practice test. Okay, have a good day, and don't forget to practice and try to do it by yourself first, and then come back to check the answer, right? That would be the best way to learn. Okay, bye-bye. Talk to you later, all right? Bye.